Hey guys, John here, Big Man Alaska. I am in my Alaskan kitchen and I want you guys to just check out this chub. Isn't this the most beautiful thing? I mean, this is 80/20 ground beef from Costco. And right now the cost of this is 32.03. I did do a video yesterday about my Costco Business Center trip. If you guys are interested, definitely go check that out. But yeah, today I'm doing a live stream. I'm getting ready for the weekend. I'm getting ready for the weekend's weigh-in because I've been fasting a lot the last couple of weeks. Now, last week I was doing rolling 36-hour fasting, and this week we're going to be working on, actually this week I did 65-hour fasting, and I was rolling it as well with less than a 6-hour feeding window, and then I rolled on into the next 65-hour fast, and that's still going on. Now, that fast ended at 3:30 a.m. this morning, and right now it is after 10:30 in the morning. I never feel hungry first thing in the morning. So that's a great way to extend your fast. Is just by make the ending of your fast some weird hour, and then all of a sudden you got more progress and you're more capable mentally of just going on for another, who knows, 24 hours maybe. I might just go on, all day tomorrow. Who knows? But that's the fun part about fasting and trying to do different types of fasts for your lifestyle. But right here, I am on the carnivore diet, and one thing I like to do is prepare for the days that I'm not fasting, and I need to process this giant chub of meat. I mean, this is fabulous. This thing is just, look at the size of this thing. It's heavy. I mean, it's like what, 10 pounds? I mean, you could get a workout just holding this and just curling this a bunch of times. I mean, it's just that much fun. Like, ooh, all right. So what I got here, I got my cutting board all set up on the table. I got my knife. I already sharpened my knife because I like to just slice this stuff up nice and neatly. That way I can make pretty even sized burger patties. I do need to get some Ziploc bags out of there. Hey there, Sunshine. I appreciate you dropping in. Yeah, we're just getting things ready. We're getting things going here. I'm getting prepared for the weekend because I just got done doing a pretty good fast, and I'm not done yet. I mean, I'm planning on continuing it through today until tomorrow's weigh-in. And then I usually wait until first thing in the morning and I get my weight to see what I came down to. When I woke up this morning, I was really, really close to the goal I was searching for. So I can't wait until the morning, and it's got me excited to continue the fast. Because fasting is really hard. It's hard practice, and this is odd because I actually got myself a glass of water. I usually don't get ready for these things. I just kind of stumble around the kitchen as we go. I am trying to disappear, Lindy. Absolutely. Let's see. We're up, old man. I'm doing pretty good there. Toyoko. What? Toyota? No, Tokyo. I'm doing pretty good. Hello this afternoon. What's the topic? Well, this topic here is this. Just look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, it's 80/20 ground beef. I got this at Costco. It was a fantastic deal. I mean, I live in Alaska, guys, so this is a great deal for a big giant chub of meat. 32.03 for a little bit over 10 pounds of just 80/20 wonderful carnivore type diet food that I'm getting ready to process because I'm getting, I'm working on weight here. This is my biggest topic. My weight loss journey is my biggest topic. I also like to provide shopping trip videos here in Alaska. That's something I, had yesterday. So if you're interested in stuff like that, Alaska topics, weight loss topics, how I'm losing weight. And I started at 435 pounds and I feel absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm getting so much smaller now. I mean, the stomach's going away. All the inner leg fat is still kind of hanging out because these are the last two spots to go right here. My butt has gotten way smaller, within the last year. And I started doing this about a year ago. So I need to get these Ziploc bags already because I don't put these in the, I don't waste those bags. What do they call those? We use them for sealing up our fish up here. I can't even think of the name, but you got the little machine and it sucks all the air out, and I can't. Why can't I think of that right at the moment? Probably because I'm just in the midstream, just trying to get stuff ready. So I can usually get about five of these 1-gallon Ziploc bags with 4 patties inside is usually what I can get out of it. So, but I always like to have an extra bag open and on hand. So I get these pre-opened. That way I don't have to fumble around with dirty meat gloves. And then I always open a 6-bag just in case, because I might need that 6-bag. And I will have some, I'm gonna leave a little bit left over for tomorrow as well. That way I can keep it raw and outside the freezer. Let's see, I did the keto diet and lost 60 pounds. Absolutely, Trans Allen. I mean, that's an amazing way to lose weight. I did the keto diet for quite a while. It was extremely hard for me because there's so many weird type keto options out there. And when I went to the store, it got even more confusing, because if it says keto on the package, you really got to over science the package. You know, you got to look at it first, and you got to flip it around, check out the ingredients, and then you have to understand the ingredients. That's where I was failing when I first got started, especially with keto. I had a hard time understanding anything because my head was this big, man. It was swollen. I had a lot of water retention going on throughout the entire body. My entire body was uncomfortable and inflamed. I had back pain, I had foot pain, I had knee pain, I had joint pain. Arthritis was flared up everywhere. There was just so much going on. And I mean, being 400 pounds is no joke in the first place, but being over 400 pounds is just terrifying. And it's even more terrifying when you just sit down and realize that you don't really notice it when it's coming on. It's just like, wow, where's all this weight coming from? And then all of a sudden you're almost completely paralyzed and you're stuck in your own bed. You can't wipe your behind. Getting in and out of the shower is terrifying. Walking up a flight of stairs or walking down a flight of stairs is terrifying. You know, coming down an embankment with a little pitch to it, scary when you're that heavy. I couldn't go fishing out here in Alaska when I was heavy last year. I mean, I went with my wife a couple times and I lost a little bit of weight when I went, but I was still so uncomfortable standing on the riverbank. My feet were swollen really quickly. I couldn't have a good time. I was enjoying my time with my wife, but it just wasn't satisfying. And I was trying to get the weight down this year so I can get out and do some fishing trips with the wife, because she has her own channel at Real Alaskan Fishing. And she likes to produce, you know, fishing videos and stuff like that, because she is really good at catching salmon, by the way. She's amazing fisherwoman. She goes out and she fills the freezer every year with rod and reel up here. So that's something to talk about right there in itself. That's awesome. I got to adjust this a little bit, and then we're going to have to like kind of figure. Okay. Oh, hey, if any of you guys are regulars here, you know that I usually have cat food sitting over here because the cats eat right here, because I have this thing down here, which is my dog. That's my dog, Sadie. I can't put the cat food on the floor, so the cats kind of have to eat on the table or eat on the counter, and that's just one of the things. So I did put the cat food right there. That way, if the cats decide they want to jump up there, you might get to see the cats today. But I think they just got done eating, and I don't think that'll be a problem today, because they like to just cruise the table, get up here, knock my camera down, mess up my lights. I really should get some gloves on now, because I got to get this stuff processed in the fridge and taken care of. But so I went from the keto diet to like a KetoVore type diet, which was a lot of keto foods. It had a lot of variety. That was good, but I had a problem because it tripped me up. There was a lot of foods on the keto plane that still had a lot of this or that in it, but I wasn't getting rid of the inflammation. The inflammation was one of my biggest problems, the water retention, especially in my legs. I had super bad edema, and I couldn't get rid of it for the longest time. So, I mean, fasting helped. Fasting helped a lot, just in general, fasting. You know, calorie restriction at times. And then I got to a transition where I started KetoVore. Now, KetoVore wasn't too bad, but there were still a lot of variables in there. So I couldn't dial in, you know, what was making what happen. So I started working on Carnivore 90-10 eating principle. And that was my own made up principle. I just made it up on the fly. And trust me, guys, I did the first thing off the top of my head when I started losing weight was not a carnivore diet. It was not a carnivore diet. It wasn't a vegetarian or keto, a vegan type diet. I've done all those things in the past and none of them worked. It was so hard to just find something that actually worked for me. I couldn't lose weight. I mean, okay, let me correct that. I could lose weight, but I didn't know why I lost the weight. I didn't know, exercise, eat salads. Yeah, we've heard that nonsense for how many years in our freaking life? If you're 50 years old, you can relate to this. We've all lost weight, we've gained weight, we've lost weight, and we all think that it's just being lazy. Well, part of it maybe is being lazy, but I think a lot of it comes from the overly processed foods we're eating that tend to make us bogged down, lazy, and then just have these weird sugar crashes once in a while. And we just all of a sudden wind up in a half day's coma, trying to wake up from a freaking nap. And we think we need naps. So now when I eat a carnivore diet, I can eat just this, by the way. I can eat this for months. I'm happy. I'm actually happy just eating 80-20 ground beef. You can eat 70-30. I wouldn't recommend any higher than 80-20 because there's just not enough fat in here. And as a carnivore, we burn, our energy comes from the fat instead of the carbohydrates, instead of the sugars that you find in most traditional meals. Like if you were to eat spaghetti, for instance, you get a lot of your energy from the pasta. That's a carbohydrate. So you're burning that. And there are no essential carbs out there, guys. There's essential everything else, but there's no essential carbohydrates in a diet. You do not need carbs to survive. Carnivores have proven that. I mean, this is scientific, researchable evidence. You can definitely go check it out on your own. But I need to get this ready. So to start off here, I usually start right in the middle. I just cut it right down the middle. Not pressing hard, just letting the knife do the work. I'm not trying to destroy the meat. That's just the quickest, easiest way to get this started. Let me kind of scoot that off over there. But yeah, I mean, so far, the reason I love carnivore the most is because I can overeat meat, by the way. I can just eat and eat and eat and eat. And I can only eat so much meat in the first place. But even if I'm eating over my calories, I'm not gaining weight for some reason. I mean, the whole process of thermodynamics, calories in, calories out, versus how many calories your body's going to pack away. I don't know where it goes. It doesn't make sense to me. I've talked about this last week and throughout the week. Okay, basic thermodynamics, most everybody understands that. You can get calories from just eating raw sugar and you'll get 2,000 calories. You eat over that with raw sugar and then all of a sudden you're packing the weight away. But when I do the same exact thing with meat, why am I not packing the weight away? I don't get it. I mean, because our bodies are set up to handle the cholesterol. Their bodies are set up to handle the HDL and LDL. And as long as we're not eating trash food, we seem to be in a pretty good situation at that point. So I'm going to get this. Wow, look at that. Wow. This is the difference between sharpening your knife and not sharpening your knife. Definitely want to sharpen your knife, even if you're handling, regular beef. Now, I know a lot of people will just take ground beef and they'll just mash it up in their hands. Well, that works. It does work, but you're kind of over manipulating the meat. And what I'm trying to do here, the way I do it, is I just slice it. That way I'm not actually just really meshing in the meat and just mutilating it. And this makes really, really solid burger patties. I mean, I have had super fantastic results doing it this way, and this is why I do it. But also, like I said, on the carnivore diet, I can eat anywhere from 2 to 4 of these burger patties. I have tons of energy. Quite often, that would be my only meals for the day, would be 2 to 4 burger patties, and I feel just fine. If I need to substitute anything else, I'll use eggs or I'll use sardines, both on the carnivore plateau, and everything just works right. So usually how I get this started is I just lay my hand here, put my thumb, and that gives me the approximate size of what the burger is that I want. And then I just let the knife glide. Just glide it. I'm not pressing down. I'm just gliding it back and forth. There will be a little bit of manipulation of the fibers, but it's not going to be near as bad as if I just grabbed a hold of it and pulled it out. And then I'll just keep going. Again, about a thumb's width. And that gives me right around a 1/4 pound patty, a little bit over a 1/4 pound at times. But it's not an exact science. I don't care as long as it's meat and it's got a good amount of fat. Now, somebody did send me some Wagyu beef tallow, and I'm super thankful for that. I've never tried it before. It's something fun that I've been experimenting with. I look forward to making these burgers with that as well. But it's just a fun way of getting more fat into your diet, because I'll also use bacon grease, butter. Yeah, it's just so many great options to add fat into your diet. Now, one thing I do want to experiment is going to the butcher and getting fat trimmings and making my own beef tallow. You know, as soon as this Wagyu beef tallow is gone, that's what I'm going to start doing. Is I'm going to go to the butcher, get fat trimmings, and then I'm going to throw that in the crock pot and figure that out. There is a gentleman that sent me in an email how he does his tallow, and that sounded like a great idea to me. I was like, wow, this sounds easy. It's not overly complicated, and I'm just an Alaskan truck driver, guys. I mean, I've been losing weight for the last year as a truck driver. Quite often I have been doing little to no exercise, and I haven't started exercising until just recently. So, I mean, I'm down over 120 pounds. I've been able to keep it off for over a year. That's amazing in itself. So the carnivore diet is helping me stay that way. It's also helping me just maintain the weight loss. At minimum, it's helping me maintain the weight loss no matter how much I lose. You know, I might gain a little bit. Water weight's liquid, doesn't matter. It can come on, it can go off really fast. And that happens with fasting as well. You know, because when we practice fasting, and fasting takes practice. Now, I do have a fasting application that I use. It's called the Life Fasting app. There is a fasting circle attached to that circle, which is under Big Man Alaska, which is our channel name. Anybody that wants to join can join. It's a public group. I've been experimenting with the application today, and I found out that I can actually post pictures in there. So that's kind of cool. But it's a fun way. I believe there's about 15 members already in this circle, and it's a highly motivated group. I interact with the people as often as I can, because people are joining. People are doing different types of fast, intermittent fasting, 36-hour fasting. I believe one lady just completed a 40-hour fast, and I think today I'm up to over 70 hours fasting right now with no food, just vitamins and electrolytes. And I drink some coffee in the morning. If I get hungry, like I talk a lot to the people in the fasting application. I try to give them, kudos for when they do well. And this is what I promote. I promote healthy living. I don't care if you're doing carnivore or KetoVore or veganism or whatever. You want to be a vegetarian? I don't care. If you want to, have a little bit of support fasting, absolutely join the group. Jump in there. Go to your application store, download the Life Intermittent Fasting app, look up Big Man Alaska, and you can be, part of the group, because I am not strict, as far as just pushing just the carnivore diet. I am pushing people to get healthy no matter what they're eating. I just happen to be doing this. This is working for me. Now, if you're a person that eats vegetables and you're doing great on vegetables, you're doing great, eating pizza, whatever, because I was young too, guys. And when I was younger, I used to be able to tell people, I can eat anything. I can, I feel great all the time. I don't gain weight. But guess what? It catches up to you when you get up to about 50 years old. It started catching up to me when I hit 30 years old. 35 started getting worse. Through my 40s, I got really bad. And I still had that same mindset that I can eat anything. I can do anything. I don't have to worry about what I eat, because I can just lose it. Well, yeah, we lose it and then we gain it back, sometimes twofold. And it's like, really? And then when I got up into my 50s and I got sleep apnea and I got COVID and everybody got sick, my daughter almost died. I mean, things got serious then. And I'm morbidly obese and I'm on a CPAP machine. And this is all weight related issues for me. I mean, sleep apnea is no joke, guys. If you got sleep apnea, you can totally improve your sleep apnea symptoms just by eating healthy. And that's one thing the carnivore diet promotes, is less inflammation in the body, not just in your hands and in your fingers and in your head. It reduces the inflammation in your sinuses, in your throat, in your mouth, in your tongue, in your lungs, in your bronchial path, everywhere that you would tend to breathe. So super helpful. And this is also why I don't do a lot of vegetables. I cut pepper completely out of my diet. I had to eliminate garlic, mainly because of the oxalates. Pepper was creating inflammation for me. Even though it was mild, it was enough I could notice it. And I didn't even think about pepper until a friend of mine mentioned that. And I was super thankful he mentioned it, because I just cut it out for a while. And then I realized an immediate improvement within 2 to 3 days. And that's also the fun part about the carnivore diet, is the carnivore diet helps you reset your gut health. It eliminates all the crap out there in the store. So all the distractions, all the junk food, all the stuff that really isn't good for us, we take all of that away for a period of time. And then I start implementing in things, little by little, not all at 1 week, not all in 1 day. Maybe one meal you can screw that up, but that kind of throws off everything for the rest of the week. So you might have to start over slowly. Your food's not up here, boss. You need to go. You need to go, like, do something cat-like. Play on the counter or knock something off a shelf or something. I got my cat up here. This always happens when I'm messing around with meat. I got one of my cats that loves ground beef. Just loves ground beef. So, all right, we're just gently patting the edges down, just trying to round it out a little, smooth it out. That way, when I go to cook this up in a pan, it just cooks up solid. The burger's not over manipulated. It's not going to fall apart when I cook it. It's going to stay a solid burger form. And I like to round the edges a little bit, because I feel like rounding the edges helps it just hold onto the fat content. Like, it'll cook the outside, and the fat and the juiciness just stays inside the burger. And it works. It works, guys. I've been doing this for quite a while now. I can't really complain. I tried to screw this diet up, when I first started this diet, because I didn't want to do it. And it just, I was under the same mental principle like everybody else that starts the carnivore diet right away. And it's like, you hear all this great stuff about it. It seems like mumbo jumbo, holy cow nonsense. You don't really want to just give up everything. You don't want to give up the carbs. You don't want to give up sugar. You don't want to give up your coffee creamer. So yeah, I was there. I didn't want to give up pizza, but I did create a carnivore crust chicken pizza. It was made out of the crust was made out of chicken, and it had Parmesan cheese added into it. It had tomato sauce on the top, and I added traditional toppings. And if you want to use some vegetables, whatever, that's up to you. But just the crust, just by replacing the crust alone with chicken, and I'd mash it up. I put an egg in there, and I put the hard Parmesan cheese in there, and then I bake that for a little bit, and that's your crust. It doesn't take long to do. It's fun to prepare, especially if you got kids. So, it's a fun little project. But once you make it and you get the pizza all made and set up, put it back in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, let it all cook down, the crust is like a pizza crust. I was blown away. When I made the video about it, I was honestly surprised at how well it held up. But you want to make the crust about 1/4 inch thick, a 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch thick. Yeah, just boss. It was one of the best ideas that I had, because I was horribly addicted to pizza for years. Me and my wife, we were always ordering Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, and just from any random pizza place in town. And we were just having fun with life for a little while. Well, after you're like medically screwed up and you got issues, like obesity, and your feet are screwed up, and you got arthritis that just won't go away, and chronic back pain. I was in so much pain a year ago. I can't even imagine, other people out there that are morbidly obese and how much pain they're feeling every freaking day. And this is all preventable. This is all preventable in several easy to figure out ways. Just about every religion on the planet, probably even Satanism, they mess around with fasting as well, periods of time where they don't eat food. And it's just to reset your gut health. Reset gut health. Get your body in autophagy. And autophagy is where your cells actually eat the bad cells, like the cancer cells or the messed up protein cells and stuff like that. It's amazing when you sit down and figure out what all this stuff does and what it's about. Okay, come on, you. I need to get this stuff put up and put away. I would love to eat today, but I really need to lose a little bit more weight before tomorrow. And I'm hoping I lose exactly what I was hoping for, because I had a set goal in mind. Now, I keep this stuff to myself, mainly because if I don't, it tends to become a disappointment. I don't want to be disappointed. I'm tired of being disappointed about myself and my weight loss journey, because even though I've had a ton of success losing weight, I've had a lot of low times, where I was worried about my progress through the week, because I come back every single weekend and I make an updated video. If I have anything at all, good, bad, sad, happy, doesn't matter. Sometimes I gained weight. Sometimes I had a whole screwed up week and I just needed a little pat on the back, say, hey dude, just keep on going. That's all part of this. And when I started creating videos about my weight loss journey, I wasn't doing it to get popular. I wasn't doing it to get likes. I wasn't doing it to get views. I just figured out how to lose weight with a 5-day water fast at 435 pounds. I figured out how to lose 30 pounds in 1 week doing a 5-day water fast. And I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to post this video. I'm going to see what people, if somebody can find some use in it, great. I mean, it's not a good video, by the way. It's a pretty crappy video. But then again, I was screwed up. I had a lot of problems. I was morbidly obese. My brain wasn't working right. It was still, at that time, it was really hard for me to talk a complete sentence. Sugar does that to you. If you have a hard time talking a complete sentence without a crap ton of ums and ahs and awkward pauses, because I know a lot of people, they'll have a conversation and and if you say anything in the middle of that pause, all of a sudden you're insulting them because you just interrupted their thought process. That is a side effect of too much sugar in your diet. Too many carbs, too many sugars, too many variables messing with your brain. Seed oils, corn oils, high fructose corn syrup. Yeah, that all makes it that way. I mean, if you want to learn how to talk fast, you want to learn how to talk to people, get rid of the stuff that distracts you from communicating with others. I mean, there's a lot of you out there, you might be into telemarketing or secretary, answering phones. Wouldn't it be way funner to communicate over the phone, just all of a sudden quick-witted, and you have like 20 different thoughts running through your mind that you're able to just rifle out there without any problems? Yeah, kick the sugar, especially the high fructose corn syrup. Don't ever be satisfied with anything, any product with high fructose corn syrup. All those drinks in those fountains at all the fast food places, even Subway, full of high fructose corn syrup. The iced tea, high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is a poison for everybody. It's too much sugar all at once. The body does not know what to do with it. It's super hard for us to metabolize it. The body doesn't know where to put it. Yeah, just stay away from anything. And that goes for, those little sauce packages and stuff like that. Read what's in the ingredients on those little sauce packages. They are not innocent either. Sometimes ketchup, mustard, other, things. It's got high fructose corn syrup. Why? We don't need it in those. Like tomato sauce. Why do we need high fructose corn syrup in tomato sauce or barbecue sauce? These manufacturers that are making these products, they have scientists. When you think of scientists, you think chemicals and bad stuff for your body. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Why are they hiring scientists to figure out all of this stuff and this crazy equation? Well, they're hiring those scientists to get you addicted to their product. They want you to come back and eat another Dorito. They know exactly why people buy Cheez-Its, and all this other stuff. And the food colorings too. The food colorings are poison. 90% of the food colorings out there are already carcinogenic all by themselves. They become extremely carcinogenic when you heat them up over a specific temperature. It's not a good idea to inhale anything that's had food coloring in it. Yeah. The vaping industry found that out pretty quickly, like really quickly. I think within the first year when vaping really took off, there was a lot of us super sciencing the vaping products and the hazards of vaping. Yeah, bad juju. Do not inhale anything that's got food coloring in it, because once you overheat that up, turn it into a vapor, it turns into a carcinogen. Just bad juju. Don't do it. People say, oh, so-and-so's been doing it for years and they hadn't had any problems. Well, guess what? I was eating unhealthy for years. I wasn't having any problems. So your point, in another 20, 30 years, those problems might come out. So just do your due diligence, read your labels, figure out what you're putting in your body. That was one of the most important things for me to do, was figure out how to read ingredients. Because like I said, when I was 435 pounds, starting my weight loss journey, I wasn't even focused on ingredients at that point. I was just focused on removing food. You know, that's how I started, was with fasting practices. So I was literally just enough. You know, I was fed up, enough food. I had so much food, I gained so much weight. It's time for me to start losing. So even at that time, I had very, very low comprehension skills. You know, you could sit me down with a plan and I'd be all screwed up and confused before getting through the plan. I can't have that as a truck driver. You know, it's when my boss tells me, hey, you need to do this in this order, you know, and have this job completed and have this delivered here at that specific time, or go pick this up. Don't forget to make this stop. I shouldn't have to sit there with a freaking notebook and write down everything. A lot of that should be retained in my memory. And once I got rid of the high fructose corn syrup, once I got rid of all the other sugar products, got rid of the carbs, all of a sudden I can remember what the hell I was taught, you know, what somebody was saying. I mean, if I knew this stuff back when I was in high school, man, I couldn't imagine where I would have gone in life if I knew this, if I was a high school student. You know, because if more high school students would just knock it off with all the crap, boy, we would have a really, really good generation of children. But man, marketing has got them hooked. They got them hooked on bright, flashy lights, flashy colors. Colors, man. Colors and packaging. You know, like the really cool pictures. All those bright colors, and, you know, it drives me nuts when I see bright colors, because I know the hazards of food coloring, because I'm a truck driver. I used to haul this stuff, and a lot of this stuff had a hazmat label on it. So yeah, when I see a lot of this stuff, you know, packaged up in a big bulk container, and then all of a sudden I think of all the stuff that I ate when I was younger that had that stuff in it. You know, there's just because it's a little bit of poison, it's not going to hurt you if it's a little bit of poison. Is it still a good idea to keep poisoning yourself over and over and over again, several times a day, and then carrying that on for the next 20, 30 years, and then complaining about all of your problems like it's somebody else's fault? It's not somebody else's fault. It's our fault. It was my fault for doing that. It was totally my fault for getting up to 400 pounds. I mean, that's nuts. 400 pounds. I don't miss it, guys. Yeah. Over 120 pounds off. I'm super happy with myself. Yeah, I'm tooting my own horn about that one. I don't care anymore, because as the process goes on, you know, I've been able to deal with my anxiety, my depression, my ability not to be embarrassed about stupid things. I don't care anymore. I just really shut that button off. And that all came naturally when I got rid of all the sugars and all the crap. And I just started eating meat. And then everything started happening faster. You know, I started gaining, you know, this incredible sense of confidence just by doing the carnivore diet. Not because a lot of other people are doing it and having great success, but because a lot of those success stories were turning out to be true, not just for other people, but they were quickly turning out to be true for me. That's why I share this stuff with you guys. It's because it's just, it still blows my mind. It's like, wow, you can have this much success, but when you're having success, there's always that ding dong out there that wants to argue your success and tell you you're doing it wrong. Well, I've been to the doctor. I've done all the blood work. My blood pressure's perfect. My cholesterol's not bad. My LDL's not bad. My HDL's not bad. And the reason why is because our body processes that stuff. It's supposed to. That's natural. Cholesterol levels are supposed to go up and down. LDL, HDL is supposed to go up and down. Diabetes, it's supposed to kill you. That's why it's called diabetes, man. That's not a fun game to play, you know. When people get diabetes, that's a hard one. And people have been having great luck with their diabetes symptoms by just switching to a carnivore type diet, just kicking out all the fructose crap, the corn syrups, the seed oils, the sugars, the carbs. Yeah, amazing. Even people with cancer have had their cancer go into remission by eating a carnivore diet. Why would you just continue to feed cancer sugar? Because cancer feeds on sugar. It feeds on sugar, it feeds on stress, and it feeds on low oxygen levels. So if you're not active, you already got one of the symptoms if you're not active, just sitting around at home. If you're eating a lot of sugar, you already have another symptom of getting cancer. I mean, come on, guys. And if you're living a stressful life, a lot of us live a stressful life. This economy sucks. We're spending too much money on the basics right now. Yeah, I'm financially stressed. Everybody's financially stressed. You take out the sugar, you get more activity, you have less stress. Even though the economy sucks and we're a little bit stressed out, you're going to have a lot less chance of getting a crazy cancer. And this type of diet actually prevents, just getting rid of the sugars and carbs actually prevents getting something like pancreatic cancer. The science has proven that if you get rid of sugars and carbs, you have no chance of getting pancreatic cancer. I found that out, and I was blown away. And when I heard it, I did my due diligence like everybody else should. Is, don't believe me, go research it for yourself and find out what's going on there. Because it's all that information's out there. There's not a bunch of back and forth bull crap wrapped around that topic. It's pretty straightforward. It's like, yeah, if you don't eat a lot of sugars and carbs, you're not going to have that problem. So it's a great way to avoid random cancers we don't need. And I mean, if we look at the history of cancer and how it's climbing in this country, well, what has changed, in the last 20 years? The sugar, the type of sugar we use, all the seed oils, all the corn, all the different products made out of corn, the cheap, inexpensive products the companies use, just because they're trying to make a profit on us, and they know that we're so metabolically broke down that we can't comprehend what's on the package, because all they have to do to us is and I've fallen for this too, is all they have to do is like put a picture of broccoli or something somewhat healthy on the front of the package, and just a healthy word, and we'll buy it. Where that's broken down, and they think we're idiots. These big companies think all of you out there are just stupid, and you will never look at what's actually in their ingredients. You will never science out what's in their ingredients, where it comes from, what it's going to do to you. Yeah, that's what they think. They think we're all dumb. Are you dumb? I mean, if you're dumb, let me know. I'm sorry I haven't had time to read through the comments here that are coming in. Yeah, I'm kind of on a rant today, because I've been fasting. I'm trying to focus on continuing this fast until tomorrow when I weigh in. And I'm sitting here with one of my favorite meals, and I'm processing these these hamburger patties, getting them all put away in these bags. And it's really hard for me to do this, by the way, because I love this food. I love this food. I mean, this is one of my main sources of food right here is 80-20 beef patties. And I eat this because it works. It has everything. It has all the nutrients that I need. I don't take much for extra added vitamins. I mean, I take my electrolytes every day. I take apple cider vinegar, a little bit of lemon juice, some salt, some good salt. We're talking about salt with some minerals, not that white table salt garbage, because that's garbage. That's overly processed garbage. So I stay away from it. The only thing we use that white salt for is tanning hides. If my wife goes hunting and gets a fox or a rabbit, yeah, we use it to dehydrate the hide. And we'll use a lot of it too, because it's trash. And what else are we going to use it for? We don't use it for cooking. But yeah, salt is super important. I didn't know that. I didn't know how important salt was. I didn't know when I first started, I didn't understand that electrolytes come from salt with minerals like Redmond salt, Celtic sea salt, Celtic sea salt, whatever, which way you want to pronounce it, Himalayan pink salt. That weird salt looks like it's got dirt in it. Yeah, that dirt's the minerals. That's good for you. That's stuff that's like gold. It's like having gold and putting it in your body. That's what our bodies need. It's got all kinds of nutrition in there. And that's how you make electrolytes, is you just take a few dashes of that salt and put it in water, stir it up. That's an electrolyte. You're not drinking seawater, guys. It's way diluted compared to seawater. I mean, but this is why when I make my electrolytes, I'll put my, 5 dashes of salt in there. I'll also put 5 dashes of a product called no salt. And no salt's just potassium. And that's the easiest way to get potassium to prevent leg cramps. If you're suffering from leg cramps, go buy some no salt. Put a few dashes of that in water. I mix mine up with water, apple cider vinegar, a splash apple cider vinegar and a splash of lemon juice. Stir it up. It tastes pretty good. I mean, especially with the lemon juice, it tastes really good, by the way. My wife's trying to message me right now. She does this all day long. She sends me messages all day long. She knows what I'm doing. She knows as soon as she leaves the house, I usually start up a live stream and try to get going. So I can't really respond to what's going on. If it's an emergency, I'd probably have to answer the call. if she made a phone call. But that's what happens. And she's out doing Instacart right now. We're just barely staying afloat up here in Alaska. I mean, I'm waiting for work to start up. It snowed the last couple of days here. Super annoying, by the way. I'm not happy with that. It's not so bad that it like makes me depressed. It's just really annoying when you just had like several weeks of warm weather. We've been out hiking and mountain biking, which is something I normally didn't do. It's something I couldn't do a year ago when I was 400 pounds. So yeah, we've been out enjoying Alaska, for the last couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden we wake up to like 2 days of freaking snow in May. It's like, knock it off, Alaska. And it doesn't surprise me because I've seen snow in Alaska in April. In July. I mean, I remember a time when I was driving the haul road and it was July. It was around July 4th weekend. And I believe it was the reason I was on the haul road is because everybody else, the other drivers were celebrating the holiday at home. So they were on home time. So I got dispatched out, to get a load up to Prudhoe Bay throughout the holidays. And that was where I made a lot of my extra money when I was trucking up here, is when everybody else was wanting to take home time. I was fine. Hey, send me north and, I'll run through the holiday and I'll get the load there that needs to be there. No big deal. But yeah, we were chaining up July 4th to get up over the pass, Adigan Pass to be exact. It was beautiful down below, but halfway up the mountain, you could see snow up towards the peak. We all got down there to the base of it, and I looked up and I said, ain't no freaking way we're going to climb that mountain today without chains, because that's going to be some wet, yucky snow when we get up to the top. So we all chained up in the mud. And that's a miserable job, by the way, putting tire chains on when it's muddy out, because you got your trailer hooked up and you're getting up underneath the trailer and that mud's sliding down the backside of your neck. That sucks. But it was way more fun putting chains on in the mud than it would have been trying to put chains on up on top of the mountain. Everybody's stuck nut to butt in the freaking snow pile, because that's what would have happened. There was about 3 of us in that group, and we were all from different companies. We chained up, we made it up and over the top. And then as soon as we got up over the top, they had other people coming up the other side, and they were screwed. They were sitting there stuck. They were almost in the way. And even when you're chained up coming downhill, just because you're chained up doesn't mean you're going to stop. You can slide a long time with chains on. That's something you try not to do with tire chains, because the more you slide with tire chains, the more you rip them up. You tear the cross links out. It's horrible. Yeah. I don't know why I kept going back up there. I spent years going up and down that road. And whenever I had problems on the big mountains, sliding down the mountains uncontrollably, I'd always cuss out the mountain and be like, I'm never coming back up here. But then you go home, you calm down mentally for a little while, and then you can't think of anything else to do while you're at home. So you hop with another load and you're back up the freaking road again. It's so silly how that works. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. I'm going to try to look at these comments. I got yucky gloves, guys, so I cannot scroll back up through. If anybody did say something, you can try to, say it there. New York. Hey there. Hi in New York. I used to live in New Hampshire, guys. I grew up there in New Hampshire, so I've been to New York, through New York, delivered a lot of loads there, all over Massachusetts. Yeah, my stomping grounds were living in New Hampshire, but that's kind of where I learned how to do a lot of my winter driving, was from the Canadians that would come south off the border, through New Hampshire. Because when I first started trucking, I was like anybody else. I didn't know nothing. So I started hooking up with these guys as they were coming through. And they were literally just teaching me how to run the snow, what to do, what to expect. Don't get on the fuel too hard. Don't brake too hard, because back then trucks were different. I mean, everything about a truck was different than what we have today. Like these new trucks today, they run like cars. They're almost like an automobile. And I don't know if I like it. It's just typical, anybody from an older generation, we got all this new technology. Now the ABS has improved dramatically. I went through a long process of testing trucks and transmissions when I was in the lower 48. I was testing out a lot of the automatic transmissions, and that was one of my jobs when I believe when I was working for Gainey, because I'd come back to the terminal, they'd give me another truck. I would actually get sent out with a different type of automatic transmission. I would test that out for a period of time. I'd come back and I'd let them know any problems I might have had. I'd take a notebook with me. I also did the same thing with Sprint. When Sprint was building their network down south, Sprint used to give me a free cell phone. Like every time I came into town, they would give me a free cell phone. I had wireless internet before anybody else did because it was just, they were trying to pioneer it and figure out where the cold spots were and the hot spots were. Anywhere that I was losing reception, I had to take notes. Yeah, it was kind of neat. Here, we're going to cut through you and get this ready. Get this chub ready. Hey, you guys, you check out my chub. This is all I got left. The rest is in a patty, but this is still an amazing chub. I mean, it's half of what it used to be, but I'm still pretty proud of it, if you know what I mean. I'm definitely proud of this. It's got some girth. I like that. All right. All right, you guys, don't go that way. That's crazy. We're not about that here. We're about talking about meat, stuff like that. All right, what's going on in here? I bought an older car because I hated yeah, like I was in a recliner on a computer with a new vehicle. I don't like the new cars either. I think they're all trash. I used to live in Alaska. Everyone up there is gay. Well, if you think so, that's all right, and we're happy to see you go if that's the case. So, all right there. Anyways, Holly, let's see. Today, Hunter, what's up? Well, the same old thing. I understand that. Yeah. Joking is good. We all joke around. I don't take anything to heart, by the way, because I get people that drop into these chats and they just say some of the stupidest stuff. And I'm like, wow, you're like, when I hear people that do this stuff, I picture them, being like 8 or 9 years old, playing around with their mom's phone. Chances are it's their phone and it's all just unlocked. But I just figure they're just sitting there bored with nothing else to do, like waiting for the bus so they can go home from a horrible, miserable day at school. So they want to just jump on a live stream just to annoy people because it makes them feel better. It gives them a little dopamine rush, because they're coming down from all the sugar that they're eating. It's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate how we've treated ourselves over the years. All right, we're going to get this. I need to get this put away. I have a bad habit of just talking. Go figure. I mean, it's what we do, right? On YouTube is we talk a lot. I mean, this would be boring just watching a, guy cut up meat and put it in a bag if I didn't say anything, right? Right? Okay. Now that we're all in agreement about something, and you don't have to agree with me. It's all right. People, if I ever do something wrong, I want people to tell me I'm doing it wrong. And I've actually put that out there in short videos, because I've been losing weight fasting. I've been losing weight with the carnivore diet. Nobody's ever told me I'm doing it wrong. And I put it out there too. I'm like, tell me I'm doing it wrong. If I'm doing it wrong, let me know. And give me a reason. Don't just say you're doing it wrong. Because I need a good reason. Something I can sit down with and research. Other than a very confused person that eats a lot of vegetables that thinks, eating meat is a sin and it's bad. That's not a good reason. Because I've been losing weight. I've been maintaining weight loss with an all meat type diet. Bacon's in there, eggs are in there, chicken's in there. People say it's boring. I can cook up meat 30 different ways. Even this meat here. Turn it into a burger bowl, make a hamburger out of it. I can put it on a pizza. Yeah, super versatile, super fun. Yep, this is why I like the carnivore diet, because it keeps you the same weight. It's not gonna keep you the same weight if you just eat a whole bunch of meat and then you go in the pantry and eat a whole bunch of crap. That's not how the carnivore diet works. So just get that idea out of your head altogether, because that's nonsense. That's how these people, these other carnivores, that I think some of them that are having issues, like severe issues, is they're eating the meat and then they're eating the nonsense food. They're diving into the junk food. It's going to be extremely hard to lose weight that way. And the carnivore diet isn't necessarily a weight loss diet in itself. And that's why a lot of people that do the carnivore diet use it for maintenance. They also use it to figure out issues, inflammation issues, my eyesight issues. Your eyesight improves. My hearing has improved on the carnivore diet. I used to have to wear hearing aids. Arthritis is gone. Back pain's gone. You can't hurt my feelings now. Here, you want some? Yeah, you want a little less hurt feelings? Eat some freaking meat. It's not rocket science, guys. I mean, I'm seriously just a freaking truck driver that lives in Alaska. I live in a trailer home. I drive used vehicles. I don't make money coming out here to do this. I'm just excited because this stuff works. If it didn't work, I wouldn't be wasting my time. I mean, there's nothing to share if it doesn't work. Let's see. Thanks, Digger, having UK but not knowing USA. Hey there, Rory. Appreciate you dropping in. Unstoppable. Interesting emojis you got there. Why don't you add some context to those? You got a little bit more than that. Is that a Pikachu? No, that's not a Pikachu. That's one of them little yellow globby guys. That's okay. I'm all right with that. But yeah, like you guys there, you know, putting the emojis in there. If you guys would kick all that freaking sugar out of your life, you know, because I'm assuming you're only like 12, because people that are adults don't do stuff like that. I mean, if you were to actually eat right, eat a healthy diet, you might have a little bit more common sense and a little bit more respect, you know, just in general, just overall, learning how to be polite, to interact with people a little bit better. I mean, you don't always have to be like that. I mean, that's not, I mean, when I was a kid, my parents would beat me for stuff like that. They'd be like, what are you doing? Knock it off. That's not okay. Yeah, it'd be a long freaking argument there. We're not allowed to spank kids anymore. So, yeah, we're not allowed to say things. We're not allowed to hurt feelings like we used to be able to. I think that's a lot of the problems right now we're facing with this current generation, is that we can't. It's like I'm always getting scolded for just saying stuff like it is. It's like, hey, you know, if you stop doing the dumb stuff, this won't happen. And for some reason, that's not okay to tell our children anymore. You know, because it's taken out of context. You know, you just called your kid stupid by saying that. No. You know, if you're doing something dumb, it should be called out what it is. Is that dumb? So anyhow, emojis are cool, bro. Well, they can be, depending on how you use them. Now, I did go through a phase where I was using emojis to mainly like talk to my girlfriends. So, I mean, if you're flirting, okay, that's fine. You can flirt with me. I appreciate it. Let's see. I don't know what cornmeal is. Sounds different to breadcrumbs. I avoid anything that with that 4-letter word corn. High fructose corn syrup. It's super sweetener. It comes from corn. Corn itself doesn't really have much nutritional value in itself. So I stay away from corn, even though it's delicious. I love corn on the cob. I don't eat it anymore because I don't crave it anymore. I used to have a problem with popcorn too. I used to love popcorn. Popcorn, a lot of us, man, yeah, microwave, when they started with microwave popcorn, you didn't have to like put it on the stove or put it in a fancy, you know, 1980s corn popper. Jiffy Pop was fun. I don't know how many of those I screwed up over the years. You burn the popcorn in that little thing that poofs up on the stove. You know, that's fun in itself. I should probably do a video about, I should probably make that in a video. That'd be a pretty cool slow motion effect. You know, or I could speed it up, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I could do something with it. But yeah, that's what we do. We make random videos on YouTube. I talk about eating meat. I talk about losing weight. That's kind of what I do here. You know, because I'm not working right at the moment, not working a regular job. This is actually work. It doesn't pay well. So if you're out here trying to, you know, learn how to make money on YouTube, good luck. Good luck. It is possible, but you need to do more than what I'm doing, which is just providing basic content. You need to actually have like merchandise, a lot of affiliate type stuff. You know, Mr. Beast, he's got it figured out with his candy bars and his burger restaurants. Man, that he's freaking amazing. I like that guy. But I don't like his freaking videos, which is really funny. There's not a video he's ever put out that I've actually been like, oh, that's a great video. Strange. And the guy's so popular because he just makes stuff that people want to watch, even though it's not stuff I want to watch. It's still interesting. It's still interesting to watch how he evolved over the years. You know, because he seriously started out with nothing but a cell phone, like I'm using here. That's how Mr. B started, with the cell phone. No fancy microphones, no fancy editing. It was absolutely ridiculous content he was trying to make. That's how he grew up. That's how he grew up as an adult. You know, he started as a kid. Let's see. I would try well. Yeah, Muck Tuck is really good. Hey there, Shannon. Appreciate you dropping in there. I believe it's 330 pounds. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I can't eat any kind of raw meat. I would not. I don't promote people to eat raw meat because yeah, there's definitely problems there. You have to assume that the majority of meat has issues. Now, if it's a steak, um, because when you cut a steak, the only part of the meat that's exposed, because it's a solid piece of meat at that point, all the other fibers are interlocking, so you're not going to be getting bacteria inside the steak. That's why you can eat a steak medium rare, you can eat a steak raw, is because you're cooking the outside of the steak, and that's going to cook it a little bit into the steak. And if there is any bacteria right there, it's killing it right away. It's gone, just like that. Poof, no more. Oh, let's see. Shannon, yeah, Donica Tour. You got mine from Amazon. Also, the duty taxes are insane to get it here. Ouch. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. Yeah, it says on Amazon it's 330 pounds. Let's see. Sorry to hear. I don't know what you guys are talking about because I can't touch the phone and see what's going on. I wouldn't eat steak raw. Yeah, I wouldn't eat it raw. I definitely sear it on all sides, even the fat caps and the stuff like that. I'd sear it just to get rid of the. You bought the the Life Pro. Yeah, I do have the Life Pro. I think it's the Life Pro Mini. And at the time I bought it, I was 315 pounds when I bought the Life Pro Mini. It handled me just fine, and it still does. I love that thing. I do have an affiliate link attached to my channel. It's got the Life Pro link. I mean, so if you wanted to shop for one or check out their other products, through that link, it does help promote the channel slightly. We only get a small commission, and I don't even know if we've gotten anything, but I've had people order through our links. I don't have any idea even where to find that information out since I got the affiliate link program set up. Yeah, that's how much I care about the financial side of this channel. I really don't. I mean, it is paying some bills. It's making some money, but we're talking like $200 to $300 every couple of months. In the grand scheme of things, it's helpful. It's still fun. I mean, I like talking to the people more than making money off of this stuff because, when I first started YouTube, I thought, oh, yeah, I can make money on YouTube. Making videos is easy. What a dumb idea that was. It's not easy. It's not easy learning how to do all this stuff because there's a lot of responsibilities you have when creating content. You have a lot of internal settings you got to figure out in order to make all of this stuff happen and get me to be like here. I mean, it's just getting me here is fine, but getting people to come back and watch this later takes a little bit of effort, a little bit of work. You like my meat gloves? Yeah, they're covered in like meat fat. All right, yeah, I tried link to get to Canada. Oh yeah, you're in Canada, Shannon. Oof. Yeah, there's a problem with getting stuff to Canada at times, and I don't know why they make it so hard to get stuff to Canada. Now, when I drove up here from Joplin, Missouri, I didn't even think about it. I had weapons, tucked in my car, but I was driving a little Dodge minivan, and it was plumb full of stuff. And apparently, I just got super lucky when I came through because they didn't want to strip the entire van claim when they did their inspection at the border. And at that time, I was just getting away from a crazy ex that I had in Missouri, and I was just trying to get as far away from her as possible. So I went straight up. I think it was, what is it? What's that highway that goes straight up through Kansas City? I-35? But anyways, I went up the highway straight up through Winnipeg, got on the Alcan, and I came over here to Alaska to get away from her. And I've been happier ever since. But when I crossed the border, I had, some rifles and guns in the car. They weren't loaded. I don't know if I even had any ammunition in the vehicle. If I did, it was so scattered and thrown in there because I was like literally just trying to get away from this woman. But I didn't realize I could have gone to jail for that. Oh, yeah, that would have sucked. So yeah, if you're trying to smuggle guns or anything else nefarious, and this wasn't even nefarious, I own the guns, but the fact is, you're supposed to declare that stuff. And I don't even think they asked me if I had any guns. The only thing they asked me was if I had cigarettes, and I had to have the cigarettes out of the carton because that was the one thing they asked me: is how many cigarettes do you have? And I told them I had, because I bought them just before I went across the border at that time, but I had them all out of the carton because that was the recommendation from the person. I think it was a truck stop before I got to the Winnipeg crossing. So I took them all out and they were just all loose in there because I guess there's a problem with cigarettes in a carton. So I don't know. It just seems ridiculous to me. I don't know. All right, we're almost there. Oh yeah, we're gonna call that a burger patty there. Okay, so now I got one more bag full, plus one, which is okay. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags here. 5 1-gallon Ziploc bags with 4 patties in there each. And it seems like every time I do this, I come out with a different number of burger patties because I don't do them really super specific. It's really pointless. It's like, who cares? You know, you want some for kids, you want some for an adult. You know, sometimes the adult wants a little bit fatter burger, and the kids want the smaller burger just because they're the way they use their fingers and toes to eat makes it a little easier having a smaller burger. But yeah, we're getting closer to getting this stuff put away. I'll probably leave one bag out for later. And I'm not sure if I'm going to break my fast today or not. So I'm undecided. Last night I went through a problem, especially right around dinner time. Because I'm always hungry at dinner time. That's always my struggle. I had to revert back to my fasting application where we have a fasting group. If you don't know what that is, that's on the Life Intermittent Fasting app under Big Man Alaska. Anybody can join. But I had to revert back to that. I had to look at the people that were on there already and what they were doing and what they were talking about. And then I literally had to take my own advice. So I was struggling. I was just like, I'm already 50 something hours into this fast. I was like, I'm hungry now. Should I just break the fast now or just keep going? And so, yeah, I went back to the group. I was literally taking my own advice, which is go drink some water. Just drink some water. And that's my advice to people that are struggling with fasting. It's go drink some water until you're done feeling hungry. And it happens. It comes pretty quick. So a couple tall glasses of water will totally get you over the urge of wanting more food. So I've been using that, and I use that. I started using water as a tool, you know, even before I learned how to fast. If I was hungry, didn't have any food, I just drink more water. Then all of a sudden, I feel fine. I might have to urinate more frequently, but I feel freaking fantastic. Then you're more hydrated, and then you have clear skin. Go figure. You know, clear skin comes along with hydration. People forget that, especially the people with acne. You know, they don't realize that the majority of their acne symptoms, especially the high school kids, it comes from the crap food they're eating. It comes from soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, whatever other seed oil is added into their freaking bag of chips or whatever they're trying to eat. That's where a lot of their acne is coming from. It's not coming from chocolate. You know, chocolate itself, that's the least of the problems. You know, the problem's coming from all the nonsense sugars, and the body doesn't know what to do with it. So yeah, it's going to try to secrete it every possible which way till Sunday. And that's normal. That's normal for the body. You know, I remember those poor kids in school. They would suffer with acne issues. There's a piece of wrapper right there, I think. I don't know what that is. No, I don't know. It's going in the trash though. Goodbye. See you later. Just like that. That's how we pat your meat gently. Don't hurt it. Don't screw it up like that. You don't need to mash it. You don't need to screw it up like that. It doesn't make it better when you do it that way. Da-da-da-da-da. Pick up the little pieces. Okay, I think I'm going to put this in the sink before I get my hands all filthy. I'm going to give the cutting board to the dog, because the dog deserves a little treat because she's been sitting here quiet and been a good girl. So we're going to let her lick the cutting board off. Come here, puppers. Puppy cacks. I got my hands back. I got my fingers back. I feel so much better. I need to clean the seals of these off. I like see. That's my country. Delhi pin code. Well, okay, whatever. Oops, wrong chat. That's okay. You're all right if you're in the wrong chat. You're right though, Dr. Big Man. I am not a doctor, but drinking water, man. Yeah, good way to curb your hunger. Now, many years ago, I had a friend of mine, Meat and Marriage. They were talking about a little bit of carnivore topics, and he mentioned something like honey buns, and that was just stuck in my head because I was trying to imagine myself now eating a honey bun and imagining how I would feel. Because I used to love honey buns, by the way, because I'm a truck driver. So whenever we were stuck, you know, at a distribution center, typically it's a Walmart, and they want to leave you outside for a day and a half, and all you have is that vending machine to live out of. Because back then we weren't very prepared. We didn't really feel like we needed to pack a whole freaking lunchbox full of groceries. Although it would have been a good idea. But at that time, we didn't worry about it. We also weren't worried about eating the types of foods we were eating at the truck stops. But I did live out of the vending machines, and quite often I would buy honey buns out of the vending machine. The reason I bought honey buns out of the vending machine is because typically they're the larger item in there. There's also those Texas cinnamon rolls. Super delicious, super unhealthy, and they leave you feeling empty after you ate them. They make your taste buds totally satisfied because it's super sweet. There's a bunch of crap garbage in there that's designed to make you want to go buy another one and eat another one. That's how they get us. They get us addicted to these products. But the healthiest item in those vending machines was always the beef stick and that piece of cheese. And we would look at the beef stick and piece of cheese. It's only as big as our 2 fingers. But when we look at the honey bun's like, as big as our face. And we're like, oh, yeah, well, we'll be more full if we eat the one that's larger. Yeah, that's totally wrong. That's totally wrong. It would have been healthier. Even if that beef stick and that cheese stick was made out of crap, we still would have been healthier buying the beef stick and cheese stick. Because we would have felt fuller for one. But our eyes trick us to buying this big, giant, honey glaze covered piece of garbage. Man, so many of those I've eaten over the years. Cheese Danishes, that was another one that I used to eat a lot, and I don't miss those anymore because, again, they taste great on your taste buds, and they leave you feeling like you have no soul, like you're completely empty. You're still hungry. You're looking for more food, so you just ate something as big as your face, and now you want to eat real food. Your body's craving meat. That's the problem, is our bodies crave meat. Let's see. What you got there, big man? Well, today I've been processing some hamburger meat. I am preparing for the weekend right here. Me and the wife did that Costco video yesterday. We got that already uploaded. This is some of the meat I got from the haul. And I had to go to the Costco anyways to buy this meat because we were out of burger meat. Because they ate it all on me, those little kids. I got the little heathens that live here. They like to eat my burger meat. Tough issue when you're a carnivore. Because when you're a carnivore, the funny thing is, there's a lot of family members. They want to eat all the meat you have. They don't really care about the carnivore diet, which is normal. I don't shame them for that. But when you're so focused on just eating meats and fats, like this is literally my food here. This is my food. And I have a family, and the family has to eat food too. So I have to get over that in my head, and that's the hard part. So, it's like I can't just buy food just for myself. I have to, feed my kids. Imagine that. I got to feed my kids. And my daughters love burgers. The only difference is they like to eat their burgers with a bunch of sauce and, sometimes cheese and a bun and vegetables. Well, I found out that the vegetables and all the stuff that I used to put on my burgers and the bun was extremely unhealthy for me. Might not be for them. There's a lot of people out there that eat burgers. There's 1 million burgers sold in this country every day. Every day. People are doing pretty good, even when they eat the vegetables and the buns. Of course, depending on where they're buying them from. But I was having issues with weight. So if I wanted to lose weight, I would go to these burger places and just get the burger. I'd toss out the bun. Well, when you're tossing out the bun, the majority of that sauce, the crap sauce that they put on there that's got all the poisons in it, would actually go with the bun and in the trash. And I was losing a bunch of weight just doing it that way, guys. Whatever vegetables came on the burger at that time, I was eating it. Onions, pickles, relish, and whatever leftover sauce was on the burger. No big deal. I just eat it that way. And I was losing weight and when I started losing weight a year ago, that was one of my go-tos as well, is I got a couple burger places down the road. They serve really good burgers. The one that I'm thinking of, it had a burger called like the Max Burger or something like that. And it was I believe a double patty burger. It's got cheese on it. It had a bunch of different cheeses on it. It had fried egg. It had an avocado. It had lettuce, onions, tomatoes. And I would just take the bun off and eat that. And I was losing weight. We're talking weight drop. just by tossing the bun out, just getting rid of the sugars, all the other sugars too, not just the bun for the sugar, talking about all the other high fructose, the regular sugars of the desserts, staying away from the ice creams for a while, because my plan is to get down to 235 pounds and hang out there for a while, see how I feel, see if I can maintain that weight loss. Now, somebody early on when I first started this weight loss journey said, "You're going to balloon up like that." And I was like, and I sat there and I thought about it at first, because this is early on in my weight loss journey. I mean, I was butthurt about hearing that. I was like, okay, but I had to sit down and take a break from the comment before I responded. And I was like, you got a good point. Is that going to happen? How can I prevent that from happening? And this is what has made me engulf my entire life around losing weight and hopefully trying to help other people out there to lose weight as well. Because man, I wish I had a guy that would have sat down with me, even in a video like this, and just talked about how easy it is to lose weight, how he figured out how to lose weight without trying to sell me $90 powders in a freaking container. How many of those have we bought over our lifetime? If you're over 50 years old, you know what I'm talking about. Protein powders, whey protein, just all the nonsense, the vegetable type weird protein stuff. And it's like, that's not even food, but no matter. I mean, I'm not into the products. I don't promote products. I'm not big into that because, I want people to be healthy. I want them to live a long life and enjoy their family. And that's where I'm at right now, is I'm able to enjoy my family. I'm able to get outside, go on adventures now. And it only took me a year to get this far. Now, at the time when I started, I thought, yeah, this year's never going to come. I'm going to quit. I'm going to go the other way. But my biggest tool for success is actually creating a video diary about it. So every weekend I post an update video, good, bad, sad, happy, who cares? Some weeks are worse than others. Some weeks don't do absolutely anything. So I struggle to even make the videos because nobody wants to share bad news. Nobody wants to share weight gain or possible, we didn't lose any weight at all, and try to, sort out those deals. But since I started doing this, the entire community around all of this has been loving, caring. Everybody has helped me. The people that comment here, the people here that you see with the little blue handles, yeah, absolutely, totally helpful. I mean, we've rescued each other from the deepest depths of depression at times, and we didn't even know we were doing it. It's just weird. Like, somebody might have found inspiration from one of my videos. And I posted a video of me getting out riding a bicycle here just recently. And all of a sudden I got all these messages, some in private messages and emails, people saying, "Hey man, thanks for posting that video. I'm getting my bike ready. I haven't been on my bike in like 12 years. It's been sitting in the shed. I just left it alone." Or somebody else is like, "I'm going to go tune up my bike and get out." There was at least 5 people that were inspired to do something. That's all I want to do. Just inspire people, maybe you get your weight loss journey started, or maybe you just eat healthier for a little while and see how you feel, or just get away from the sugar altogether and find out how easy it is to have progress with your own journey. Don't wait until you're 30 years old to start this stuff. Don't wait until you're my age at 50. Some of the people that I talked to, they didn't wait. They waited up until they're 70 and 80 years old, and they're now just getting started. And they probably feel the same way I do, which is ripped off. I feel ripped off. I feel like our schools, our education system failed us. Because this is all stuff that should have been talked about when I was in high school. It's no different than teaching children how to do a checkbook or taxes or any type of money saving practices. Health is super important. This is stuff that you're going to take to the grave for real. I mean, you start out pretty good. Everybody can run pretty good when they're young. And those that can, I'm sorry, I pray for you. But the majority of people start out pretty healthy, and we can stay pretty healthy, but we can't stay healthy without the education, basic knowledge, the basic knowledge of education, the basic fasting principles, which aren't taught today. You don't hear about people talking about fasting. And if you talk fasting to a child, You know, we're talking like a high school kid. You say something about fasting, the majority of them are going to look at you like you're a freaking alien and go away and, you know, give me my bag of freaking Takis and Doritos and popcorn. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to be like, nope. And even if you talk to them about it, they're going to look at you, and some of them are going to be interested. But even those some that are interested are going to turn around immediately and eat a cupcake or eat a cookie because they're young. They have their youthfulness. They don't have to care about it, you know, because they can eat anything and lose weight. For a period of time, that's true. That's the sad part. It's true for a period of time. You know, I don't know how many Red Bulls, Mountain Dews, Coca-Colas, and Pepsis I put down the hole, along with all the alcoholic beverages I've had over the years and all the desserts at all the restaurants I've been to, you know, living it up, having a good life. But that stuff catches up with you quick. It catches up with you quickly. Let's see what's going on. Oh, gee, there are many carnivores on YouTube that didn't exercise, but went carnivore and lost weight. I said the reason being in that it got rid of craving issues. Yeah, OG, okay. Or whoever you're talking to there, Donna. Yeah, when I started all this weight loss, and I've lost over 120 pounds with little to no exercise. Emphasis, little to no exercise. I didn't start getting out and exercising until the last 2 to 3 weeks. That was the most exercise I've had throughout this entire weight loss journey, besides getting up, going out the door, going to work, doing whatever I had to do at work. And I was either delivering auto parts or I was driving a big truck. That's not a lot of exercise. There is a little bit there, not a lot. I mean, the average truck driver, I believe, burns about 400 calories in an hour. Sitting on your couch or sitting at this kitchen table, I'm burning about 230 calories an hour just doing this. And that's per hour. So keep that in mind. Learn those things. It's easily researchable. You can Google it. You know, how many calories you're burning doing whatever thing you're doing. You know, either it's driving a car, maybe walking, riding a bike. Yeah, totally researchable stuff if you're interested in learning that stuff. Most people won't ever look into it because they just think this is voodoo and nonsense. But it's not. You know, once you figure out your calories in, calories out, it's helpful. But that's also why I do a carnivore type diet, is because I don't have to worry as much about the calories in, calories out. Now, that's for weight maintenance. If I want to maintain whatever weight I am right now, if I were to go weigh myself on the scale, you know, if I just eat meats and fats, I can maintain that for an extended period of time. And that's something I have already proven, is I can maintain that weight loss, keep it off just by eating meats and fats, staying out of the garbage gut diet crap. And it works. And it works. But you know, calories in, too many calories even from meat prevents me from losing weight. Certain types of meat seem to prevent me from losing weight. Certain dairy products stall my weight loss progress, so I have to keep that mindful. But this is all through a process of eliminating everything and slowly adding stuff back in. So it takes a while. I did the work, so most people don't have to, and it makes it easy for me to explain because I've spent the last year of my life focused on health, focused on weight loss. I'm still a pretty big guy. I'm still right around 300 pounds. We'll find out tomorrow what I am for sure. But I think I might have a good update tomorrow. I think. If not, I'll still make an update tomorrow because I promised that to the people that follow this channel. And that's all I am here to do, is just follow up, good, bad, or ugly. It doesn't matter if it's a good video, a bad video. Some of them get tons of views. Some of them don't. That's not what it's about. It's about talking to those 80 to 400 people that actually give a damn. Those are the people I'm talking to. Now, people, you know, young kids, you're like, oh, 450 views on a video. That's horrible. That's not good. And in the grand scheme of things, no, that's really good. Because if you take 400, even 80 people, you stand in front of 80 people in a room, that's a lot of people you're talking to. And then if I can maintain a following of at least 400 people that come back regardless of what I'm talking about, regardless of what videos I'm posting, that's a lot of people standing in the room. So think about that, you know, when you're out here explaining things and doing your videos. I mean, that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter to me if I'm reaching 10,000, 25,000 people. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that one person that's going to change their life because maybe I said something. That's what matters to me. That's what I pray to God for. You know, God was the one that set me on this journey. He set me up on this path. I was already creating YouTube videos. You know, he's the one that said, hey, you need to share your story. So I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm just coming out here, being a faithful servant, doing what I'm told to do. And most people have a hard time grasping that whole concept, but it happens. It happens to a lot of us. But that's what I'm here to do. It's just share my journey with all of you. John, keep in mind that you've been exercising lately. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, we are building muscle. I am definitely building muscle. Now that's another thing. So the last couple of days that I've been fasting, I seriously feel like I have been to the gym working out. Like I have the soreness going on right here. This muscle's tightening up too. If I were to take my shirt off, it would be flabby like a woman's boob. But yeah, I'm still gaining progress. You know, my underarm fat's getting a little bit better. But yeah, these are like the last places you lose that freaking wobbly fat, and it's just a pain in the butt. I said I was going to clean off the seals of these things like 20 minutes ago. Okay, we're just letting the video do its thing. You know, because I do feel super energized compared to, you know, how I would normally do my live streams. I feel really chatty, and I'm over, let's see, I'm definitely over 70 hours, maybe 75 hours into this fast. No food for over 75 hours. Most people look at me like, yeah, you're full of it. But it doesn't matter what people think of me. Yeah, that's the benefit. That's the benefit of getting the sugars out of your diet, is you are not hormonal anymore, and you don't care what your sister says when she's picking on you or anybody. You just stop caring. It's so much fun to be able to control your emotions. I mean, if that's not a good reason to get rid of the sugar, because sugar makes us hormonal. Most people don't know that. Sugar, carbs, not necessarily the right vegetables, but sometimes the wrong vegetables can make us hormonal too. I didn't like that aspect of vegetables. I didn't like the fact that vegetables gave me kidney stones, you know, because there's oxalates. Most people don't know what oxalates are. I didn't know what oxalates were. First person that said they had oxalates and they were oxalate dumping, I think, was Bill Knott. That was the first time I really took that into consideration. And if you don't know who Bill Knott is, he's researchable on YouTube. You just type in his name, Bill Knott. You can look him up. He started out over 700 pounds. And he was talking about this, you know, because he lives here in Alaska too. He lives quite a ways out there. I haven't met him yet personally. We email back and forth. We keep it cordial and friendly, and you know, try to be helpful to one another. But like I said, we're busy. We got stuff to do. You know, I'm creating content. He's creating content. We tend to provide long videos and stuff like that, so we don't really have time to really just sit there and watch everybody's stuff. And there's so many carnivore content creators out here right now. It's just mind-boggling. Even since I started a year ago, I think since I started a year ago, there's been like an explosion of people that are doing the carnivore diet and wanting to share their experience because they found so many benefits for themselves. And that not necessarily, they're not just jumping on the bandwagon because it's the most popular topic right now, because there are so many benefits. They're jumping on the bandwagon because they sincerely feel like they need to share their experience with other people because it's easy. It's easier. You know, I don't have the cravings to just go out and eat junk food all the time, because that goes away. That goes away when the palate changes in your mouth. You know, I don't even use chewing gum anymore. I talked about that in this most recent video. Yeah, I stopped with the chewing gum because there's a sweetener in here. And I used to chew this stuff like every day. I chewed a lot of it for anxiety issues, but I was also chewing it because all the sugars and carbs, the other stuff that I was eating before this, was giving me horrible breath. You would think that meat product being stuck in between your teeth and, you know, just eating meat altogether would make your breath stink and give you body odor. That's not the truth. The truth is the carbs and all the crap and a lot of the vegetables and the garlic and the pepper and onions. There's your BO. That's where a lot of your BO, stinky feet, rotten crotch smell come from. It's from all of that. But yeah, what's the ingredient in here? That's xylitol. That's the one. Yeah, xylitol. There's also some weird syrup in here, maltitol syrup. I don't even know what that is, but that's probably what leaves a film in your mouth that makes you want to chew more gum. because they got the scientists figure this stuff out. They get you hooked on it. They give you a certain flavor profile, and they want you to come back, and they want you to keep, going to their products, regardless if it's this product or any product out there. If it's got sugar, it's got a sweetener in it. The chances are there's a guy in a lab coat that sat down and tried to figure out every little addictive flavor type profile. And those are probably the scientists that left the tobacco industry because they ran out of jobs, because they're not allowed to like super duper try to get people hooked on cigarettes anymore. So they ran out of a job there, and then they went straight to the food industry to get you guys addicted to food. And now we're struggling with the epidemic of people being morbidly obese in this country. Go figure. The same guys are at the root cause of other health issues. And then they move on into the Diabetes Association. So if you were to sit there and follow our country's diabetes guidelines, that whole process there is set up specifically to keep you being a diabetic. I mean, how sad is that? I mean, they got you screwed every which way you look. There's no good way around it. Because they don't care about you. They care about profits. That's what they want from you. They want profits over everything. I gotta move you guys. Because I need to go. I need to put stuff away there. Hey, come on. I gotta scoot you over. I gotta get in here. Let's see. Get you out of the way. What else we got? Put you on the floor. Okay. What's left in here? Not much. So, okay, if you guys didn't know, this is a little trick I use because you see these grates here. So when you're putting in like raw type meat, I just cut an old cardboard box and I set it on the grates. That way I can stack my stuff in the fridge and I don't get those little grate marks. Because hamburger meat will form the grate marks, and then it'll become really, really hard to get them out of the package. Yay, we're almost done with this. Okay, boom. That's good enough. All right. Now, I always keep broccoli around just to keep my meat cold. So this is frozen broccoli, and we use this as an ice pack. That way it keeps the meat cold. I don't eat this stuff because it makes me feel like crap, and it also makes me feel bloated, irritable, and hormonally upset. I used to eat a ton of this stuff because people told me it was really good for me, and then I found out it wasn't helping me either, and it was also causing me more grief with kidney stones and other medical issues. So I just say no to broccoli. But apparently other people can handle it quite well. That's just fine. All right, what do we got for space in here? So I'm keeping these out because I might break my fast today, but I highly doubt it. I'll probably use these tomorrow at some point. So it'll be just fine up there. Ooh, the wife got some bacon yesterday, and I haven't checked it out. I want to check it out while you guys are here, because this is some bacon she got at the Costco Business Center. And everybody loves bacon, even if it's cooked. It's fun to watch me make bacon because it's in my house and I'm making my own mess. But yeah, I got my own way. So this is what I got here. This is what the wife picked up yesterday. I mean, isn't that beautiful? That's good looking bacon there. I mean, yeah. I mean, just stare at that for a minute and just imagine what this is going to taste like. Got 2 packages connected here. Let's see, 1.5 pounds. Is that total or per package? Oh, total 3 pounds. So yeah, these are 1.5 pound packages. And I could seriously eat one of these and be just fine. I wouldn't have any problems. Thick sliced bacon, center cut, hickory smoked. Yeah, we'll see about that. But I was curious to see what the trashness was on the inside, because some of these bacons have some odd stuff in the ingredients. Now, I really don't focus too much on the extra ingredients in the majority of bacon products, and the reason is why, because I'm not eating a ton of bacon. I mean, I'm not eating bacon like I'm eating hamburger meat. So if I have some bacon, if I'm cooking it, I tend to overeat bacon when I'm cooking it. But as a general rule, I am not always into the bacon like that. because bacon does seem to, it helps my digestion, but it does slow down my weight loss. It doesn't work that way for everybody. Let's see, the ingredients here really don't look that bad. I mean, this is just Kirkland bacon from Costco, cured with water, salt, sugar, sodium phosphate, sodium xyorthorbate. I'll have to look that up at some point and see what the heck that is. I'm really, like I said, I'm not too overly concerned about that. Sodium nitrate. That's another one. So if you're worried about nitrates, maybe it's not a product for you. But as I learned through the process of a lot of things, there were some things out there that gave me red flags when I first started losing weight, and I don't worry about a lot of those things now because I've done a lot of research around this stuff for my own personal benefit, and I've experimented with taking out this or that for a period of time. Even coffee, I removed coffee for over 30 days. I don't even think my wife noticed, but yeah, I removed coffee for over 30 days. Nothing happened, good, bad, or ugly. I reintroduced it. Nothing happened. I enjoy coffee. Coffee tastes good. I like the smell of it when it's brewing. I mean, it wasn't even that hard to not have coffee for a month. I was drinking a lot of water, and water is always my go-to drink, no matter what, just regular water. You know, I hear some people all the time saying, well, I can't drink water. I got to have bubbles, or I got to have this or that. And it's like, dude, you're going to have a hard life if you can't drink water, because that's what we need. We have to have water to survive. And there's a lot of zombies walking around right now on fentanyl, but they're not drinking water. They're drinking a bunch of other crap, and they're not going to last long. We find them dead in the snowbanks all the time here in Alaska. They don't live long. I mean, I think I saw 2 or 3 of them the other day when I was out. You know, the medical crews there, and it's a sad situation. All right, get some high grade matcha. I don't even know what that is. Very strong caffeine. Now, there's another problem. Too much caffeine is bad as well. So if I have too much caffeine, it creates stomach aches. So that is a negative side effect of caffeine. You don't want to, because caffeine overstimulates the stomach when it gets in there. So too much caffeine is a bad thing, and it can promote ulcers and stuff like that. So you need to be careful with the amount of caffeine and the amount of sugars and all the crap you mix in with your caffeine. But if you're going to have like a 4-shot espresso, you know, just make sure it's like made with a pretty good fatty type cream. That'll help kind of lessen the damage. If you guys knew what I'm getting at. All right, put you away. All right, boom. But one thing I do try to worry about when I'm doing the carnivore diet is excessive cheese. So I try to stay away from the overly processed cheese. Anything that's wrapped in plastic individually, absolutely, I avoid that because it's typically not cheese. American cheese, I don't even know why they call it American cheese, because it's got nothing to do with America. It's usually made out of processed seed oils, and that's not what we're looking for. Like the Kraft singles and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know if you've ever seen it made before. It like just oozes out, and they just mash it in between some pieces of plastic. And yeah, I've had a ton of that in my life, by the way. I used to eat that stuff like 4 or 5 slices at a time, stack them up. Yeah, that's what we did. You know, we didn't know any better. We didn't think about the process that goes into making a lot of these cheeses. So I try to get the more healthier cheese, the type that it can be sliced, but it has to be separated by paper, not individually wrapped in plastic as a general rule. I like the Swiss cheese. I like Havarti cheeses, Colby Jack, jalapeno type cheeses. But you have to be doing it in moderation. You don't want to overdo it. Even some of the string cheeses can, if you're looking for weight loss, some of the string cheeses can throw your weight loss off. But if you're a person that's working construction or something like that, and you're still trying to lose weight, some of those string cheeses that screw up my weight loss, because I sit down for the majority of my life, and that's why I have a lot of problems with my feet. But if you were to work in the construction industry, a lot of that string cheese will give you a boost of energy. Another thing that gives you a boost of energy while you're out and about is stuff like hard-boiled eggs, some healthier type of beef jerky. Even though any type of beef jerky, even with the bullcrap ingredients they put in there, will get you through the day. You know, if you're just looking for a meat item to make you feel full and satiated to get through the workday and get on. All right, let's see, check on what's going on in here. Hey there, Holly. Cheese triggers endorphins in the brain, skin, and morphine. Yeah, cheese is a trigger. Sometimes cheese can be a trigger for carbohydrates as well. Let's see, let's get some high grade matcha. I don't know what that is. Anyways, let's see. Donna says, I buy Applegate. They don't put any of that crap in it. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Donna's got a point. There are some bacons out there that don't have a lot of garbage in them, but it's okay to not worry about it, especially if you're not overindulging in the stuff that has weird ingredients in it. You know, like sauces, for instance. I mean, I really started to like over science the sauces that I had in the house. And some of them had high fructose corn syrup. I was really upset about that. I was very disappointed with Baby Ray's barbecue sauce because that's a staple in a lot of homes, especially up here. I mean, people are taking really healthy meat and they're soaking their really healthy meat in high fructose corn syrup sauce, which is so sad. I mean, now that I look back at it, I'm so disappointed in myself because I've done this. You know, I ruined meat with high fructose corn syrup sauce. And it broke my heart to see that the majority of their products have something that doesn't belong in them. It's like, wow, you cut that corner to make money off of me, you jerks. And I feel betrayed from the companies that create this stuff because it's like, why, you know, you're making a rock solid product that everybody buys. I mean, the majority of people in Alaska, when they buy a barbecue sauce, they're buying Baby Ray's, you know, especially this time of year. It's a highly sold product. It's like going out and buying Heinz ketchup. You know, this time of year, you know, the tourists are coming up in droves and they're coming from other countries, all from around the world, and they're just buying like Heinz ketchup, usually in the, you know, camping package, which is ketchup, mustard, and relish. But I never understood why they give you that much mustard because it's like at the end of the season, and this has happened to all of us here in Alaska, is like we tend to have like 6 or 7 of those full containers of mustard at the end of the season because every time we go out on a road trip, we tend to go to the store and we buy that 3-pack of, you know, condiments because it's usually cheaper to buy all 3. But then we end up at the end of the year with a whole bunch of these mustard containers. And it's something we joke about up here in Alaska because it just happens. Let's see here. Let's see. Steak with wine is amazing. Yes, it can be, especially if it's the right type of wine. I'm not a big fan of like overly acidic wines. They're just like not so great. What makes me mad is when you see the UK version of the same thing and it's healthy. That does bother me too. It doesn't bother me that the UK has healthier versions of ketchup and healthier versions of sauces, or even Canada for that matter. They have healthier versions of a lot of things that we have. And it's just the manufacturing companies just pulling the wool over our eyes, and they're just trying to make an extra dollar. They got inflation to ride on right now. You know, they can mark up their products to whatever they want, and people are still going to buy them right now. But they're making millions off of selling us trash ingredients, and sugar shouldn't be manipulated in a way with high fructose corn syrup as a substitute. I mean, a lot of countries make high fructose corn syrup just flat out illegal. And they do that for a reason because they know what it's doing to us here in the United States. They can see the results of the high fructose corn syrup epidemic, and it's killing people. It's killing people. And it's hard to get away from it because it sneaks into a lot of different areas. And sometimes they like to use fancy names. I mean, I've even found products that say no high fructose corn syrup on it. And then the first ingredient on the label is corn syrup. Go figure. All right. Yeah, dumb. It's dumb. I mean, it's dumb. They think we're idiots. They think we are idiots. All right. Hey, what do you do for a living? No. Hey, no. I drive dump trucks up here in Alaska. I drive other big trucks, pretty much any combination. I've been known to haul doubles, tankers, flatbeds, low boys, heavy haul loads. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I'm a truck driver by trade. Let's see, but why poison us if there is a healthy version? Exactly. That's why I feel betrayed when I find these products and I'm just like, wow, you guys cut corners and you sell a solid product. I mean, babies were like and I'm pointing the finger at Baby Ray's barbecue sauce because that was the first one I found, you know, and it hurt my feelings. So I was like, wow, guys, you know, now I'm not going to buy your product. I even went and checked out their sugar-free option and their other type healthier options, and they're full of garbage too. And I'm like, wow, so I can't even buy those. I mean, or want to buy those now because I feel duped. So if they took out the high fructose corn syrup and they just use regular sugar in their process, yeah, I would absolutely buy the product still, because I won't be overly upset about natural sugar, like in something like a barbecue sauce, because that's what I expect. I expect natural sugar, not some freaking, you know, manipulated type sugar super sweetener, just to get people addicted to your product. I mean, you can spend a little extra money. You could probably triple their freaking profits by actually spending more money on some quality ingredients. Mm. A lot of organic companies are selling out to major food brands. Yeah. And it's hard to trust who's organic and who's not right now, because seriously, organic is just a label. Organic, grass fed, uh, all that stuff. It's just a label. We have to look past the label. If I see something on the front that's positive, I'm happy to see positive stuff on the front of packaging, but that automatically throws a red flag. Now I have to flip it over regardless of the product, anyways. We should be flipping over all these products, understanding what the ingredients are, what they're doing to us, where they come from. Are these hazardous materials that are going into our body? Are these things that are, shipped with placards, when they're being shipped in bulk? I held a lot of, soda products over the years. Almost all of them had placards on them, when they were shipped in bulk, like the syrups that they use for many of these sodas. Yeah, highly carcinogenic, highly corrosive. I mean, some of the stuff, I used to use it for cleaning car parts, when I was young. You can still use Coke to clean your engine parts. You just put it in a tub and dump some Coca-Cola on there. That's about what it's used for. That's its usefulness right there. It's not a good idea to drink it. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right, guys, I have been going a little bit long here. We're an hour and 41 minutes in. I appreciate everybody that's dropped on here. You could hit that like button before you run away. That would be appreciated. It's not necessarily, but if you're interested in losing weight, how I'm losing weight, I provide weekly weight loss updates. I also do shopping videos here in Alaska. I like to show people around the neighborhoods and talk a little bit about that, as we do a ride along. It's just basically a dash camera setup. You guys sit in the passenger seat and, have a pretty good time. Let's see. Oh, we got more comments here. Hold on one second. It doesn't take a lot to blah, 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 blah. And I missed that one. Yeah, I appreciate you there, Donna. I'm just going to read Shannon's here, and then we're going to probably move on. Let's see, Shannon. It doesn't take a lot to call something organic. Then the rest is not organic or crap. That's true. I mean, it's, it doesn't have to be 100% organic to be called organic, I guess. I don't know. I try not to get too overly concerned with that, but I do like to try to figure out what's organic, what's not, because some of the organic stuff is absolute nonsense, just like some of the keto options are just fooling you. When I see stuff like potatoes and potato starch in a keto option, and I'm just, it makes me hurt. It hurts my brain. Let's see, everyone has to find their why for turning carnivore. For me, it didn't fit in the world anymore, and I was getting sick, low carb. Yeah, I got tired of feeling sick too there, Holly. I mean, that was one of the big deciding factors of me even trying to lose weight, is I didn't want to feel sick anymore. I didn't want to feel sick. I didn't want to eat stuff that I thought was healthy and still feel sick for doing it. And because, I was told to eat a lot of vegetables. I was told to do certain things. I was told to eat a certain way. I listened to these experts. I listened to all the people that had these fantastic brains and all these opinions. I was injured by physical trainers over the years. I was fed up when I started. I was sincerely just piss off. I'll figure this out. Granted, I didn't figure it out right away. It took me a long time to get to the point where I started figuring it out for myself. But I was just hurt inside from all the bullcrap of people telling me this. Here, take this freaking pill. Just constantly being injured from medication I was getting from my doctor, because it was hurting me inside. It was attacking my liver. It was screwing up my kidneys. I was having problems with urination. I was having problems with pooping. Sometimes I was being severely constipated as a result of a freaking medication that was supposed to help me for some other issue that I don't want to talk about here. You get it? Yeah, it's crazy. But all right, guys, I am going to scoot, and I appreciate you guys for being here. But yeah, I provide topic around weight loss, the carnivore diet. I talk about other health-related topics. I enjoy doing these random live streams. But But yeah, we can go shopping sometime. I do plan on getting to Walmart and doing a Walmart shopping video. I haven't stepped foot in a Walmart in months, it seems like. I think it's been months. I don't know. It's been a while. I'd have to ask the wife. But all right, guys, I want to thank you for being here, and I am going to scoot out there. And we'll talk to you later, Donna, Holly, and everybody else that's in the room. I appreciate anybody that drops in here anytime we're doing a stream. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Gonna fumble out of here. Wish me luck.